High-grade Universal Century Nemo. Hey, what's up again, everybody? It's Robert 184, 2Rs2Bs, gundam.tk, and if you're a fan of mass-produced mobile suits here, particularly from Zeta Gundam following up on the gym, well, hopefully you're going to enjoy this take on the Nemo here from Bandai in 1/144th high-grade Universal Century. Early 2013 release. Cool looking cover art here from Bandai, and here it is in its famous green colors as opposed to the drab ones we're going to be getting later. 1,500 yen, you can see down there for the price, the name in English and Japanese, and it's number 150 in the HGUC line. Don't forget, you can get this kit and lots more great stuff from the friendly folks at HobbyLink Japan. There's full links down below in the description. Off the shelf, the fantastic cover art is going to catch the eye with Nemos flying out all over the place, a red Rick Diaz, and you've got a Zeta Gundam there in Wave Rider form to go along with the Mark II, and this is part of a long tradition as we've got to see super prototypes eventually become more and more mass-produced. This one, of course, is going to be following up from the Gym 2. And reaching back to the 2010 testament here of the Gundam Bible, you can see that there was in 1985 a 1/144th green version of the Nemo, but everything after that, the focus has been on Gundam Unicorn, as basically it got a much drabber color scheme, and we've already got that one released in 2012 in HGUC, and now it's time to get the one that old school fans of Zeta have been clamoring for. Although with the Zeta boom in the 2000s, with the movies coming out here, you can see that in 2006 February that we got a master grade there. This was done up in its proper green colors first before the Unicorn version came out many years after as an online exclusive, and a desert color one that you can also pick up as well. Box tour now with a nice simple look here with the green color scheme there and the nice navy blue to go along with the red and those all-important RX-78-2 influenced yellow vents there on the chest. The shield is going to be simple there and have some moving parts, but it's on the back where you're going to see all sorts of vents and thrusters, so we'll have to see how many of those red ones are actually going to be recreated in plastic and how many of those are going to be seals. And some information there about the development of the Nemo there from Anaheim Electronics, and again that great cover art. And if you're looking at stats, the one that I always like to see here, the head height of 18.5 meters. And on to the other side where they're going to be showing off some action poses here with the help of an action base 2 sold separately. Up in the air, not going to be all that dynamic, but then again, what do you expect? Still going to look pretty solid there. The legs look like they're going to have a good range of mobility there. Small weapon in hand to go along with some beam saber there in green, which is going to be great that it's done in clear parts. And over here, you can see that the regular things that we've come to expect from high grades today. Good mobility there as you're going to have a pivoting waist over there. You're also going to have some good mobility for the shield, which is going to be up and down. The shoulders, and it looks like a whole bunch of hand parts there. And they're going to be giving you clear parts, it looks like, and seals for the head details there. The beam rifle, small, effective, 2 beam sabers there. The shield is going to be moving, and you've still got to be careful, though, because when they show you the unpainted one over here, you'll notice that it's not going to have as many red paint details as it seems that you might from the one that's painted by a pro all around the rest there. But you can see the Rick Diaz there in red and the Zeta Gundam, and if you want to throw out more than one, you could create a great action scene as they all deploy to go fight the evil titans. And inside the box, let's check out the Nemo in its proper colors. Polycaps there to go along with manipulators and a very bright, vivid green. All sorts of seals there, mostly of the red variety, to go along with more green and gray for the inner frame. Clear green beam sabers there, some small yellow pieces on a separate plate, which is worth noting, and a very cool looking one-colored A plate, and the manual, again with that non-unicorn feel. Nice colors when they're laid out beside each other there, with the green dominating to go along with the blue. The gray that you're going to need for the inner frame and for the manipulators, and you can see down there that they went to this trouble of printing off some small plates. It's just unfortunate that there's not a red one to go along with this set. So here is the A-plate following along in the age popularized, getting rid of the 4 multicolors on the A-plate there. You can see a few different parts that are going to be chunked off, but it's going to be more interesting to see down here. The large parts there for the shield are all looking very good, and the thing that makes me really happy is that the sides of the heads at least are not going to be done up in seals, that even though you're going to have a predominantly green head, he is going to have some blue parts there that are going to go and form the cheeks on either side and look good doing it. You can see parts like the beam sabers there. You can also see where things are going to be attaching on. Some good details there carved into the bottom of the feet, And you've also got these big parts there for thrusters. Disappointing though that a lot of the color on the inside of them, even though they are going to be hidden in the back, is going to have to come from the stickers. Here's B1, and you can see that B2 is just going to pop off over there, and that's where they put on the name bar for it. This is going to be giving you all the parts that you need for the forearms, for the legs, for the shoulders themselves, all of which are actually looking pretty good. And for the unique parts over here, the parts here for the neck are actually going to have a seal that goes on there and wraps around it. But I think it's more interesting over here to see both the antenna down there and the eyes, as if you wanted to go and paint this up properly, you could actually go ahead and there's little etches in there, so you can go and line that up and paint it up properly if you want to. But you can also just take the seal. They're going to have a nice little silver one there. And when you put that silver one on, it's also going to have the black lines drawn on in the same place where this lines are etched in here. And then when you take the clear part on, it's definitely going to look like a cutting edge grunt. C1 and C2 here are going to be the 1.5 plates. You can see some pretty cool looking details. Again, these wouldn't have been included in an old school HGUC if this had come out 10 years ago, or even around the time of the movies, you have to speculate. You can see that you're going to have some piston looking parts back there, although they're not going to be functioning as you'd expect for HGUC. And some nice little piping details there if you wanted to go add some etching. The thrusters are going to look good, as do the hips. And when you come over here, you can see for the hands that you're going to have 3 different varieties there, including a 3-finger trigger finger that are just going to be set there already with the split. And over here, you're going to have the parts that make up the beam rifle. The high-grade manipulator ones here are definitely a trend, and you can't really complain about that because you're going to be getting 2 different sets here to go along with the 3 individual hands that we've already seen there. And it's always cool to have some dynamic open fingers there. But it's these 2 small plates here that are going to really make the Nemo come home here. And you can see that you're only going to be getting 3 here for the D plate, so this is very age-styled here. You're going to have the vents there, which are always important. Here, the fact that they're done up in proper yellow there, it's going to be always a little bit tricky to get in there and do some lining, but if you do it carefully and use some toothpicks, Q-tips, or just some proper ink, you shouldn't have any problems. And this other large part here, this is going to be used on the shield, which is sort of a plus. There should be another yellow part there, and that would have gone on the head. Unfortunately, that's a seal, but it's going to be somewhat offset by the fact that we've got some cool clear silver, or some shiny silver seals there, with this clear orange on top of it. Definitely a plus. With the old faithful PC001 and the A attachments on there, making up the internals, and Saber 6 here with a very shiny neon green there. That's going to look very good compared to the regular green that's already pretty bright and vibrant on this kit already. But after being happy with the plates, it's going to be time to get disappointed here with the Nemo stickers here. 1/144th Nemo, no designation there, unicorn or regular or anything like that. So first of all, in terms of the yellow plastic, you can see that this part here could have been plastic if they had added that onto the D plate if they wanted to. There's also a red one there right beside it, and that shiny silver is always looking good. Camera lenses in green and scopes in red, those kinds of things you always expect here. But otherwise, you're going to have these large chunks of red, and those are basically going to go primarily on the insides of the shoulders there. That's going to be the ones here with the purple and the vent looking parts there. And then you're going to take these red parts there and basically stick them all around on the inside because it's going to be sort of inside like that. So that's going to take a little bit of patience with your tweezers putting it all in. But whenever you see this much red, it's the kind of thing where you just want to say to Bandai, if you're going to make teeny tiny plates that are just going to have a single orange part on it or 3 yellow ones, just make some red parts there. And that would really make the merging between high grades and master grades, or at least that real grade counterpart in between, seem more and more like a reality. Simple, effective, old school, and cool for the cover there. Zeta Gundam prominently displayed, and when you go in the inside, you're going to see some neat looking details there. We've already seen that you're not going to have the red that's nicely recreated there on the bottom one. This one painted up very well by a pro. Some scenes from the anime, always great to see cells in action there. Another nice pose that we've already seen on the box to go along with the inner frame, looking pretty decent where it is going to be exposed, and the shield folding up and working in both of its positions. That art I never get tired of seeing there. And here we go, we get to see some of the HGUCs, the Gym number 20 from back in the day, to go along with the Gym Kai, then the Gym 2, number 131, 126 there, the Gym 3 actually came out before the Gym 2, you can pop its shoulders off if you want, and then it's going to evolve on into the Jagan in the future there. And you can see some more great kits from Zeta Gundam with the Zeta, the Hakushiki, the Super Gundam itself, and the Red Rick Diaz there to go along with the Metis. Inside, the only thing that you're going to be wasting is the back of some of the manipulators there from that plate and a couple of polycaps, but otherwise there's going to be some crazy cutouts in terms of shapes. but everything's there as you'd expect. You can put together the head, but it's going to be when you're looking through it and you just see seals on seals on seals there as it's going to be on the inside. Painting it up, of course, is the way to go, or just skipping ahead to the master grade. But nonetheless, in terms of construction, it's going to be pretty straightforward as you build up the lower body, attach the whole thing together, and then add on all the weapons here. With 4 pages only of instructions, no need to go on to a 5th in the back, so it's more great pictures here painted up by a pro. That same pose on an action base, uninspiring, but some good details to go along with the hand parts. And if you want to know how to paint this up, emerald green, 80%, 10% blue, and 10% yellow, if you want to go for the non-drab, non-unicorn version. A mixed bag here in terms of the unbox, as it's going to be great to see that we're getting this classic mobile suit available for a reasonable price, 1,500 yen in 1/144th, and not having to go back to 1985 to get that. However, it is going to be disappointing just to see the massive amount of seals that's going to be going all around the body. However, the green should be a step up on unicorn unless you want to go for grim and gritty. So anyway, everybody, stick around to see the parts and how the mobility is going to work out, how much the seals distract, and of course, to see it all put together. Anyway, everybody, love to hear your thoughts if you've already built up the Unicorn 1 or the Master Grade down below. Love to hear from you, and stick around for lots more news, reviews, and everything else you can use. Thanks for watching. See ya. Sweet. I found him.